Okay, everybody, we are going to go ahead and get started on our little bell ringer. So for the first question, it says, if y equals 5x, what is the value of y divided by x when x is not equal to 0? So first you have to stop and think to yourself, like, what can we do? So basically we know y equals 5x, and we're trying to figure out what the value of y divided by x is. So if we know y equals 5x, we can just actually plug in 5x into y because we know y equals that. So if we write it just like that, we know this is technically to the exponent of 1, and this is also to the exponent of 1. So when we have x to the 1 over x to the 1, we know these can cancel because we subtract. So actually it ends up equaling 5. So there we have it. A is our correct answer. Moving on to number 3, it says Jeff's restaurant sells pizzas. The amount charged for a pizza P is based on the cost for a plain pizza, plus an additional charge for each topping T, as shown in the equation below. So we know that the amount charged for a pizza P is based on the cost for a plain pizza plus an additional charge for each topping T. So it says, what does the number 1.50 represent in the equation? And here is our equation that we're trying to look at. It says the number of toppings. Do we think that 150 represents the number of toppings? Not quite. So we can go ahead and cross that out. Do we think it's the cost of a plain pizza? No, it should not be the cost of a plain pizza because this is our starting point. This is what we're starting with. So that is actually the cost for a plain pizza. 8 is. So that's not it. Next, we have the additional cost for each topping. So if you go back up here and look in the word problem, it says plus an additional charge for each topping T. So there we have it. 1.50T represents the additional cost of each topping. And moving on to number 4, it says, Mr. Smith wrote 9 less than 6 times a number is less than 16 on the board. If x represents the number, which inequality is a correct translation of this statement? So first we have to reread it again. It says 9 less than 6 times a number is less than 16. So let's go ahead and look at this right here. 9 less than. 9 less than is basically in comparison. So for example, if we have, you are 10 years less than me in age. So we have less than, which is 10, and then the age, we don't know how old anyone is yet until we determine actually how old they are when you ask them. So for example, if I was 20 and there's a 10-year age gap, then you guys are 10 years old. So 9 less than, we know needs to be like this. Then 6 times a number, so 6 times something is less than 16. So we know is less than 16. So when looking up over here on the left, we know that 6x minus 9 is less than 16 is our correct answer for B.